On this episode of A History of the Navy in 100 Objects, we take a look at the navigation book of a sailor who served before the creation of the U.S. Navy. He was a member of the force whose efforts were integral to saving the colonial forces and allowing them to fight another day during the Revolutionary War. Dr. Jennifer Bryan, head of Special Collections and Archives at the Naval Academy, joins us with the details.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Bryan. I'm head of Special Collections and Archives at the U.S. Naval Academy, and we're in Special Collections and Archives to look at the navigation notebook of Michael Hodge, who was born in 1743 and served in Jonathan Glover's Marblehead Regiment during the American Revolution. You can see the book has its original covers. These are called combed covers, decorative pattern, much faded now, but of course this notebook is over 200 years old. And you'll see that he's inscribed his name very boldly in the front, and the volume dates from 1759. And this is essentially, as I said, his notebook on navigation. And he's made this very lovely compass rose, all hand-drawn, a very nice ship there in the center. And of course you see it has the British flag because this is 1759. I'll just open some pages here so you can see how he wrote out his problems. He has nice headers for all his sections. I'm not sure that all of us have notebooks that look as neat as this, but he obviously was interested in learning and retaining the information. Michael Hodge, as I said, served with Jonathan Glover's Marblehead Regiment in the American Revolution, and the Marbleheaders were responsible for ferrying Washington's army from Long Island to Manhattan Island after the Battle of New York. The battle took place in August of 1776, and Washington had split his army between Manhattan and Long Island. Essentially, they were in Brooklyn to defend New York City. It was more of a political thing to defend New York City than a military, smart military move, because of course it's very difficult, especially when you don't have a navy, and the British had a huge navy. And so what happened was the British managed to defeat the Americans, but they didn't push their advantage in the evening, and so the Americans were able to escape through the advantage of having the Marblehead unit, which was made up of sailors and fishermen who knew how to handle boats. And so they were able to ferry Washington's troops during a fog that had come down over the river. They were able to ferry them from Long Island to Manhattan, and thus save the Continental Army from defeat and continue the revolution. And so Sir William Howe was considered something of a fool for not having pushed his advantage. But at the time he didn't, and so the Americans were able to fight another day. And here is a tie-in with somebody who served in that unit.
Michael Hodge's notebook records the efforts that tangentially paved the way for the creation of the U.S. Navy. To learn more about early Navy history, check out our episodes on the John Hancock letters, John Paul Jones, British dockyard models, and the Barbary Wars. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today.